Welcome to the News by Gay Jesus. I am Gay Jesus, and that's the sound of breaking news. But what if news could sound a little more like this? And so the Lord decreed, "Let there be the news by Gay Jesus." And as you listen to the sound of my voice, disengage from your emotions, disengage from the emotional response you have to the headlines, and instead focus on having the most relaxing, the most sensual, and the most erotic auditory news media experience of your life. Please be warned, if you take these words seriously, you may get offended. So remember, you might feel emotions, but the moment you do, disengage. Emotions don't help you. Just listen to the sound of my voice. Honey, the drama is real, so sit back and relax as we go through the news headlines from the week. And so we begin. Meta failing to curb spread of many deepfake celebrity images on Facebook. Honey, if Meta can't even keep the deepfakes in check, how do they expect us to keep our wigs looking flawless? China says tweak to official U.S. fact sheet on Taiwan risks peace. Well, isn't that just peachy? China's got its own drama going on, and we're over here trying to get our eyebrows done for the Pride Parade. Man convicted of murdering Irish woman in India gets life in prison. Okay, finally some justice served, even though it will never be enough to bring her back. Popular actor Kim Se-ron found dead in her home. Sweetie, we're all thinking of our dear Kim right now. The Korean acting scene is tough. Rubio says, "We have a long ways to go before Ukraine peace talks." Oh, honey, I've got news for you. If Rubio thinks he knows what it means to be on the front lines of love, then he needs to get himself to a pride parade. Stat. Netanyahu vows to open the gates of hell if hostages in Gaza not returned. Okay, sweetie, we all know that when Netanyahu says hell, he really just means his ex-wife's divorce lawyer. Fans boo U.S. national anthem at U.S.-Canada hockey game. Well, isn't this just typical? Someone gets booed for their rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner. Meanwhile, I'm over here trying to get my catwalk strut on point. Irish jockey Michael O'Sullivan dies from injuries sustained in fall. Oh no, darling, that's one tragic accident. Rest in peace, Mikey. Why Canada's super pigs pose a multi-billion-dollar threat to the U.S. economy. I'm more concerned about why my Netflix subscription's threatening my social life. Now that's what I call a real crisis. Trump calls Zelensky a dictator after blaming Ukraine for Russia's invasion. Okay, darling, let me get this straight. Trump thinks he knows who the real dictator is? That's like saying I know more about drag than RuPaul. Brazil's Bolsonaro charged for alleged plot for coup and poison try on successor. Sounds like someone needs to get their priorities straight. First, overthrow the government. Second, perfect that cat eye. Egypt announces discovery of the lost tomb of King Thutmose II. I'm more excited about finding my missing favorite scarf than this ancient Egyptian tomb. Now that's what I call a real treasure hunt. Top U.S. and Russian officials meet without Ukraine to discuss war. Girl, I mean oligarchs coming together to discuss the war? I'm sure they're doing that, but it's more likely they're sucking each other off. Rio de Janeiro records its hottest day in at least a decade. If Rio is hot, then pray for us during Carnival. It'll just be one big ball of heat and drama, which sounds like my love life right about now. Tension soars as Chinese copter comes within 10 feet of Philippine plane. Okay, darling, that's what I call a real close encounter. But at least it wasn't with me on the dance floor. Lord have mercy. New law in Vietnam derided as bid to quell all critique of communist rule. Sweetie, if they want to silence everyone, then maybe we should just start our own reality TV show and call it Survivor Communist Edition. Australia says China's live fire drill warning diverted flights mid-air. Honey, that sounds like a real-life game of Call of Duty, or at least my cat playing with the laser pointer. NATO holds military drills as leaders express concerns over Trump's shifting foreign policy. Darling, let me get this straight. NATO is worried about Trump? That's like saying I'm worried about running out of contour powder. Not happening. Arab nations coalesce to offer an alternative to Trump's Gaza plan. Sweetie, it sounds like someone needs to give the Arabs a makeover and teach them how to slay on social media. Spain's ex-soccer chief convicted of sexual assault for kissing player. Honey, that's what I call a real-life game of who's your daddy. Not exactly something you want to brag about at your next family reunion. Netanyahu orders intensive operation in the West Bank after bus explosions. Okay, Bibi darling, get your priorities straight. First, take care of your skincare regime. Second, deal with world politics. Pope Francis shows slight improvement as he battles double pneumonia. Sweetie, I'm more concerned about who's going to be the next pope. Maybe we can get a drag queen in there and spice things up. Russia will not accept NATO troops in Ukraine, Lavrov says after Saudi Arabia peace talks. Russia's worried about NATO? That's like saying I'm worried about running out of eyeshadow. I can pretend, but everyone really knows I'm prepared. Russian drone attack damages Chernobyl radiation shelter. Honey, that's no laughing matter. If that reactor goes critical, it could explode over all of Europe like I did last night in the bedroom. It would be a total mess and people might get hurt or even worse. J.D. Vance takes aim at European leaders over free speech, immigration. Okay, darling, little baby J.D. Before you pretend to be a world leader, maybe learn how to do a proper drag face and maybe get some therapy while you're at it. Now, sadly, that's all we have time for today, but as you come out of your deep, erotically and auditorily charged trance, remember, the news has no emotional control over you. In fact, you enjoy listening to it when you hear it from Gay Jesus. The sound of my voice makes you wet. So please come back next week for more news headlines. This has been the news by Gay Jesus. I am Gay Jesus. And honey, the drama is real. Please subscribe, like, and share me with all your friends.